Okay, I just got out of the new Tomb Raider movie, and I want to preface everything that follows from this as I have never played a Tomb Raider game. Nope, not even in the PlayStation era, not the original Tomb Raiders. I have never played a Tomb Raider game. The most I've come close to that is my girlfriend is a big Tomb Raider fan, and I've watched her play the reboot and the new game, so that's the closest I've got to the games. Everything I'm going to say from here on out about the Tomb Raider movie from 2018 is based on the movie alone. I have no idea how it correlates to the games, to the story, or anything like that, other than the fact that there are definitely game sequences in this. There are some action scenes where I felt I should have a controller in my hand and hitting a button to skip cutscene. There's more than one of those. The 2018 Tomb Raider, obviously being a reboot of the awful Angelina Jolie movies, is not a hell of a lot better. It's not awful. Don't mistake this. It's not unwatchable. It's definitely better than the Angelina Jolie movies. It's not as nudge nudge wink winky as that, but at the same time, it's really poorly directed. It's really poorly written. And I say more to the writing. The direction bothered me quite a bit because Roar Uthaug, I'm assuming I'm pronouncing that right, Uthaug maybe, he decided to shoot everything handheld. So the camera never stops moving. The camera's always slightly jittering from side to side, and it's super annoying, as most modern directors do, which is why I don't like modern filmmaking as much, is cut. For some reason, he thinks action is punctuated by having 40 cuts in 30 seconds. That somehow makes the action awesome. We'll cut to this angle, we'll go to this angle, we'll cut to this, and we'll cut to this, we'll do an insert of this, and we'll cut to this, and we'll cut to this. No, that's not good movie making. That is terrible filmmaking. If that's how you think a movie should be edited for action, then you don't know how to direct action. This movie has a lot of that. The main problem in this movie is the script, honestly. The performances are fine. There's nothing to really stand out. Even Walton Goggins, who is fucking amazing. He looks bored in this movie. We don't get crazy Walton Goggins in this, and that's really what the role needed for a villain. You also have, Alicia Vikander. She's so bland as Lara Croft. Now, I get it, that this is supposed to be the origin of Lara Croft. She's not the Tomb Raider from the games yet. She's not to that point. And that's fine, and she plays those parts fine. It's when she's doing the action parts, she's just woefully underwhelming. Could also go to the writing, not necessarily her performance, because the writing is so bad. First of all, the script is ridiculous and relies on just moronic coincidences and just sappy, oh my god, no please, I can't let you die. At one point, if her father gets killed, possibly 1 million people will be saved. But she's like, I've come this far, I can't watch you die. So because she can't watch her father die, who's totally willing to die, millions of people and a plague might be unleashed on the world. Hey lady, then everything you worked for is for naught because you're gonna die anyway. He's gonna die anyway if this plague gets unleashed, for fuck's sake. And then you've got the tomb, which is just so overtly ornate that it's ridiculous. The opening of Raiders of the Lost Ark would have looked at this tomb and went, wow guys, you need to dial it back just a little bit. This was supposed to be ancient China that built this, and you have machinations in this that modern scientists probably couldn't have put for these ridiculously ornate and overthought traps that they even gloss over. At one point, all of the floor falls out and they get to the other side. Then at the end, Laura is running back and apparently she figured out how to get over that lack of floor because that's not an issue now. It's not like, she could have taken her time and moved along the wall because the entire temple is collapsing at this point. But the whole movie is like this. The action scenes are ridiculously overwrought, but the biggest problem is the Lara Croft character. For some reason, the writers seem to think we're going to make her strong and independent. What they actually did was made her snobbish and arrogant and like a little brat who refuses to accept reality. Guys, that's not a strong, independent woman. Part of the plot is she has inherited what looks like to be billions of dollars from her father who went missing 7 years ago. And she refuses to accept that he's dead, so she's working for minimum wage as a bike messenger instead of taking her millions because, as far as she feels, that's not her money, it's not her inheritance, because she refuses to believe her father's dead. And you go, what the fuck? That's not strong character building, that's, I refuse to accept reality and live within it. Cameos are ridiculous. The last 5 minutes are nothing but fan service to the video games. My God, the ending of this movie is setting up a whole litany of movies, and I don't know if they're gonna get that, because this movie is not, like I said, it's not well made. Physics don't seem to exist in this world. For instance, Laura gets beat up a lot. She's thrown down mountains, goes over waterfalls, she's in planes that crash, and they give her a couple little superficial cuts on her face. And that's supposed to be all the damage she gets. At one point, she gets a stick she falls and a stick is jammed through her side and coming out her stomach. She pulls it out, and there's this big moment of, oh, the pain! Yeah, that's never brought up again. She's running like she has no problem. This whole stick through the side thing, that's never brought up again. I was so underwhelmed by this script. Honestly, this script feels like it's an actual, perhaps it was written as a sequel to the Angelina Jolie movies. It's that poorly written, with just such overt, bland, emotional, her dad always calls her Sprout, and that, raises her spirit, and it's also full of characters where you go, oh, yeah, that guy is in the movie, I guess, isn't he? Huh. He just vanished for a half hour and then all of a sudden shows up for a couple lines of dialogue and you're like, oh, yeah, I guess that character is technically in this movie. Okay then. Tomb Raider, again, no idea how much this correlates to the video games. I didn't like the movie. Sorry, guys.